to Seasons of Wonder. My name is Giselle. I am a former elementary teacher, now a homeschooling mama to my little girl who is 7 years old. And on this channel, I love sharing mostly about homeschooling, but also all things motherhood, homemaking, and of course, our Christian faith, which is so important to us. So today, I wanted to share with you how I plan for homeschool and also show you the planner that I use. I keep it very simple. I just want to share my approach and just the steps I take in order to plan for homeschool and how I do that. So my planner this year is actually not a homeschooling planner. It's just a teacher planner. And the reason I chose this planner is because homeschooling planners are overall more expensive, I think. Whenever I go look for homeschool planners, I just notice that they're so expensive, and honestly, we just can't afford it. So I decided to just get this planner from Amazon. It is outdated. It is for the 2024-2025 school year. And that is also one of the reasons it was very cheap. But my reasoning behind that is that I don't need much. I just need a weekly layout, and the monthly layouts are also helpful, but I don't really need it to be up to date. I don't even look at that while I'm planning. I don't look at the dates most of the time. I'm also used to using undated planners where I need to fill in the date myself, so it'll be okay. I still have 6 months where it'll be up to date, but then I'll start writing in the dates, and that's okay. I don't mind. So this is my homeschool planner, but I also have just my regular planner for things that I need to do, pay the bills, just certain things that are happening for our family during the month and during the week. Even my to-do list, I do that on here. And this one is so special because my mom gave it to me for Christmas. So, I do love it. It's just so simple and easy to work with. I don't like planners that are too complex because that's not how I plan. Like I said before, I keep it very simple. So something that is very important to me when I'm choosing a planner is that it is spiral bound. Previously, I had one that was not spiral bound, and it was so difficult to write in where it bends just close to the binding. It is so difficult to write, and so this time I really wanted to make sure that it is spiral bound, and it is just so much easier to manage. It lays flat. When you open it up, it's just perfect. My planner. On the inside, I decorated this first page just with a few flowers and also these messages. These words have to do with something that is very important for me this year. The first thing is to keep my eyes on Jesus, and the reason I wrote less and more is because I want to have less distractions in my life, less of the things that take away from being in prayer or being in the Word of God or spending time with my family. Less of that and more of what truly matters. I think that there are so many distractions in the world that we can always just do so much better with this, with focusing on the Lord. And so that is the reason I wrote Eyes on Jesus. And then also seek wisdom. So lately I have been thinking about how much I love to learn. So I have noticed that the books that I love to read are usually about theology or just godly wisdom. And that is very important to me, that I continue to seek wisdom. And by wisdom, I mean godly wisdom. And the Word of God says that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. So again, pointing to God and just to grow in Him, to grow in my walk with Him. And that is what I want to focus on this year. And that is the reason I wrote that. And just decorated it a little bit, just so that it's more personal. And I think it's going to cheer me up when I look at it. So this planner is divided by months, as most planners are. So let me go to this week. So I'm still not done planning for this week. And one of the reasons is that I plan as I go. So ideally, I want to plan during the weekend. I want to plan for the week ahead, but it doesn't always work out that way because we have so much to do on weekends. And so sometimes I end up planning Monday morning just for that day, and maybe Tuesday, just for Monday and Tuesday. And then I will start just planning during the evenings, and I just plan as we go. I don't plan ahead months or even yearly, as I see some moms do that. And I think it's great. I think that they are so detail oriented and they are so organized, and I admire that. But for me, it just makes more sense this way because life is so unpredictable and I don't want to plan ahead too far. I just want to plan as we go, and I think that works best for me. And so this is a very simple layout and a very common layout. It's just the days of the week from Monday through Friday, and then on top you can write in the subjects. So the way that I do that is I divide my morning into two parts, and that is morning Bible and morning work and routines. So morning Bible is basically all that has to do with reading the Bible, singing our hymn, our memory verse, and this one is for a Bible that we're reading for Sunlight. It's an illustrated Bible that we read. So that is what we do every morning. And then for morning work and routines, this is the work that she does while I'm getting breakfast ready. So she will either do handwriting or some review from a workbook, and so she'll start getting busy in the morning. And then recitation, morning menu, we just do something from the morning menu. Right now we're practicing Psalm 27, so we're memorizing that, and that's what we're doing. And then the read aloud. And then we go on to the subjects. This is foreign language because we are studying French and also reinforcing Spanish. And then history and Bible and literature, which I don't write that on here, but also literature. And we have the assignments for that day, which is mostly reading. We just read and have discussions. And then science, the same thing. And then language arts. And then we have math. And basically I just write in like a small guide of the things that we have to do. It's mostly a to-do list, and I don't go into too much detail on each task that we do, but I do know what everything means, and it is so easy for me to follow, and I just check it off if we do it, if we complete that. And it also helps me to keep track of what we need to do and the order that we need to do things in. And basically all I have to do is follow along and make sure that we do everything. And if we don't, that's okay. Sometimes what I'll do is, if we don't get to something, mostly those special activities that we have to do an experiment or a little craft, if we don't get to that, I just write it on a sticky note, and I will either find time to do it during the evening hours, or I will do it during the weekend. And that is how I do that. As you can see, today is Tuesday, and I didn't even write the lesson for math. I just took out my teacher handbook and followed from there because I didn't have time in the morning to write it in. But today, during the evening, I will definitely have time to fill in most of this and be ready for the rest of the week. But I just wanted to mention that because it's okay if sometimes we don't get to write everything in there or plan ahead as we would like. Like I said, ideally, I want to do this during the weekend, but this weekend was so busy and I didn't get to plan for the week ahead. So I've been trying to catch up with that since Monday morning. But that is basically what I do. I try to abbreviate as much possible, and I also write only what I need to in order to understand what that is, and I don't write anything more than that. So pretty straightforward. If I had another child, I would probably color code or maybe divide the little sections into two and do it that way. But I only have one child, my little girl, and so this is the way I do it. So very simple. And what I keep, so when I start planning, I have with me the sheets, the weekly overviews from Sunlight, where we have all the assignments and all the readings that we have to do. And I take that out for language arts, for science, and also for history, Bible, and literature. And these are mostly single sheets, except for language arts, which is 2 sheets. And so it's not a lot, and I love working from the sheets instead of the whole binder. It makes it so much easier. I just work from here and I basically copy it onto here because it is so much easier for me to have everything in one place so that I can reference back to it as I am doing school, and also to see what is coming ahead, what I need to get ready for, and also to know if we already completed a certain task. So I like to have it all together on this planner, and so basically I just copy it from here. The only book that I keep aside from this is the math teacher handbook, because this one, as you can see, is an actual handbook, and I cannot remove the pages from here. But it's not very thick. It's very easy to also have with me. It's not very troublesome. And I have it here, and I do the same thing. I look at the lessons and I write in and copy in those tasks that we need to do for the day. Then I also wanted to show you this clipboard. So this clipboard is also very helpful because I keep here the sheets that are basically the overview of the lessons that we will be doing for each subject. And it is so helpful to have this with me too, because I also have little scripts for language art. I have discussions and the descriptions of the activities. So if I'm doing something where I need to look at this, I can easily look at it and see what discussion we can have or what activities we need to do. So that is very helpful as well to have this with me. I keep this with me and also the planner with me as we do school. And also inside I have stickers ready to go, because sometimes I will want to start checking to see if she got something right, or I will do it together with her and we can check it off. Or even if I want to check her work, I always give her a little sticker. I think it's just so fun to do that, and she loves receiving those. So I have that here. And also I have some of her completed work which I transfer, which at the end of the week I transfer that completed work to this pocket organizer, and I have it divided by subjects, although I have not written in the labels. So I have here language arts and math, and then here I have science. So right here I will fill in those pages that she has completed. I will put them in here. That way she has her folder of completed work, and it's just so satisfying to see all that she has done. So inside I also keep this map just to reference back to it as we're doing school, because it's just so helpful. It has a map of the world, and it also has a map of the United States in case we need to look at that. But really it's so helpful to have that here with me as well. So I really recommend a clipboard like this one that has also pockets inside to keep while you're teaching, and also to help you when you're planning. I think it's just so helpful. And finally, I also have this planner that my mom gave me. It's so cute. So this one I basically use for everything else, things that I have to do around the house, bills that I have to pay, anything that I have to do as a housewife and a mom. And also if there's anything that we don't get to from homeschool that I want to do during the weekend, I will write it in here, because this one does not have any space for weekends. So I will just write it in here, and that'll remind me to do that certain activity. And that is what I do. That is basically all that I do. It's not complicated at all. I keep it very simple. For me, this serves as a checklist and also to keep track of the things that we complete. But it is not complicated at all. This is the way that I plan, and that's what I wanted to share with you. And I hope that you got some ideas. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you enjoyed it.